Hi, Shane Simpson back with you here from Ottawa, Canada. Thanks for coming back. This is the third installment in a series where we are beefing up your existing blues playing. We're adding some notes that are not in the blues scale to make things sound, it's more akin to jazz. And we're starting to follow the chord of the moment. It's exciting stuff, and it really opens up a lot of doors. A few things I need to make sure you know. We'll be adding in this video the second and the sixth of the E scale. Now those notes are not found in your E blues scale. Your formula for your E blues scale, quickly bear with me here, is root, flat third, your fourth, your flat fifth, your fifth, and your flat seventh before it repeats again here at the octave and just repeats itself. So again, that was root, flat 3, 4, flat 5, 5, and flat 7. So there's no second in there and there's no sixth. Some would argue that these would be drawn from the pentatonic major scale. I'm sure, as some of you know, if you just take an E blues scale, say I'll hear box 1, I'll take it, and if I move it down 3 frets, some people think of it that way, and you play exactly the same thing, it becomes the pentatonic major scale. That's a great thing to do. It's easy enough. You just drag everything back and you get that majory kind of sound. I'm trying to stop thinking of them as two mutually exclusive scales, and we're leading to something here called the hybrid scale, which is a mixture of pentatonic minor, or blues, I should say properly, and pentatonic major. So we'll be borrowing some notes from pentatonic major, excuse me. Some people will think of it that way. I prefer to think of it, okay, I'm on an E chord. I can see a second, I can see a sixth. It takes a bit longer maybe that way to build up to that, because you really have to know your intervals. But you can get there for sure. So adding the second and the sixth. The second of E is an F sharp. It's an F sharp. I'm going to start on the high E string. There's one right here. I'm in E blues, box 1. Good faithful shape that is. There he is right there. So my scale, on that particular string, could now be this. Instead of just this, which it was in straight E blues, I can now do this. There's my second right there. That's an F sharp note on the 14th fret of that high E. There we go. And I'll find him right there on the 11th fret. So you kind of have to sneak out of position there and grab him. I like that though. It's sort of a conscious decision to go and get him. So if I put that in context, what if I was going to go E blues? There's my second. And I'll resolve it there. Now I'm bending him. I really like that sound. That'd be a half step bend. You're bending it to the pitch of this G note. You could bend it higher to the G sharp, but for now I'm just going up that half step 1 fret. There he is there. So here in review, here's your minor third, here's your second. I'm bending him up, and then going straight down the scale. That's nice. Okay, down we go down the octave. There he is. There's your, on the 14th fret of the high E. Low E, that is your F sharp note, which is the second. So, boy, we've got a bit of a scale going on now. If we go back to that previous video, the second installment, we had the minor to major third thing going on. So, boy, I could do that. And I could also, I'm going to go through the second. There it is. All built from your basic blues scale. So, and borrowing those notes. So we're going down the scale. There's your major third, and then here's your second. I'm going to go. So that scale is getting bigger and bigger and better, more colorful for sure. That is the second. Now the sixth of E is a C sharp, and we can find some of those. I'm going to find one here on the 14th fret of the B string. So against an E chord, I could play that lovely sixth, and I could bend him a half step. You'd be bending him a half a step to the D note right there, which is the flat seventh. There's a C sharp there. There's a C sharp over here as well, 11th fret of the D string. I'll bend him up to the flat seventh, which is a D note. So bending a C sharp. There we go. And so we've added the second, we've added the sixth, and holy smokes, look at the scale we've got here so far. If I include that major third from the last video, it's just major second. Here is your sixth. Flat 5, major third, whoa, there we go. And I'll go all of that going on. So very colorful scale. Now the second and the sixth, they're not exactly stable notes. They are color tones. So if you're hearing it over top of an E chord, and I'll put one on right now, you're going to find like they want to keep moving. They're color tones, so to speak. Your roots, 3s, and 5s, those are your big resolutions if you're looking to kind of land on something that sounds stable. So don't expect these to sound stable. And your ear might take a little while to adjust to that sound if you're used to just straight ahead E blues, for sure. Here it is, the loop station just staying on an E chord, just staying there, not moving around just yet, with some of those in mind, so straight blues ideas. Now I'm going to add the second. I like that. Here's a sixth. Bent half a step, now bending here, 15, as straight out of the blues scale. There's my sixth bent. And again, here's your second. Third. There he is, down to the second here. There we go, straight blues stuff. Again, same idea. But I'll go to the sixth. Maybe I'll... down to the sixth here. So it's starting to sound a little jazzier, which I really like. Now, there's a lot of ways to think of this. I could now, when it's going to hit the A chord, for instance, I could run to A blues, run to the A blues box, but that scale, and I could add the exact same fingerings, I should call them, as we played here in E blues box 1. And that would look this way. Get an A chord loaded up here, and here's A blues box 1, just straight up first. We all know and love that guy. Last video, we added the major third, which is C sharp. Same fingerings up here in E. So there we go. There's your major third again. Oh, this guy. I added a second there by mistake. We go. Now here's my second. Being bent, that B note right there. So I'll go through the major third. And here is my sixth. My major third that we talked about before. There's another sixth there. Major third, and there's a second. So over A, really the same as I was doing up here. So you can move with the chord. That's huge. If you haven't done that before, that's huge. I'm using A blues for footing. And what we're eventually looking for is for me not to have to go all the way down there. There'll be an A blues box right here with the second and sixth added. And a hint as we look forward, that would be box 4 in A. But don't go there just yet if this is new to you. And when the B chord comes about, same idea. Let me load up a B here. I'm going to use box 1. Box 1, straight up. Straight. That's your B blues box 1. And here's my major third we talked about last video. Here's a second right here, same place it was in E and in B, or in A, excuse me, meaning fingering wise. Here's your sixth. Here, going through the major third to that second, where I have to go reach for them. There's your sixth. And you should know the names of those notes. So what is if I go back to A here, the second of A is a B. And the sixth of A is an F sharp. So get to know those and spot them. They should be blinking red, hopefully, when you're working on this. When I get to that B chord, the second of B is a C sharp, and the sixth of B is a G sharp. So I know we guitar players, we like, hey, visually, it's always going to be in the same spot if you're using box 1, no matter what key you're in. So that's handy. But it also can be a bit of a trap, so watch out for that. If I take it through a 12 bar, and I'll move on each of those, which is the athletic way. And here comes straight E blues. You're getting used to this loop by now. Here's E. There's a sixth there. There's my ninth, being better, second I should say. Going to A. And back to E. Here's your B, A, back to E. Here's your B. So that's all over the place, but we want to be able to do that just up here. Now you don't have to move with the chord. Watch out for that. You don't have to move with the chord. I could just keep my nice colorful E scale here going on. Keep my nice colorful E scale and just think of the second and the sixth of E through that. I'll do that first. Try that. 2, 3, 4, and here's A coming. And there's a B coming, but I'm not changing anything. Go. Let me take that one more time. Second of E, not moving with the chord. It still works well. Put the major third in there if you noticed. Here's my major third of A we talked about last time. There you go. Here's my second being bent. Here's my sixth. Second being bent. I went and chased down the major third of E. So choices abound. You can run with the chord, and again, you don't have to go chasing. I think only for learning purposes what I recommend when you're on the E chord, play there. When you're on the A chord, play there. B chord, play there. It kind of gets you used to the sound of things moving and gets you used to how to capture each chord at the moment. But then again, we want to be able to get all that in one position, just in one position, and then in several positions as we move along. So I hope that helps you. It's a lot of fun to play, and it's really coloring up your blues scale. And there's a lot to think about. And for me, when I first started doing this, it sort of threatened my organizational system because I was, I'm reaching back and doing things. I was playing outside the boxes that I knew, but I quickly realized that those boxes were kind of caging me in. So I hope that you'll benefit from it and really enjoy it. We'll see you again soon.